Senator Cormier.
Senator Cormier. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
There are people who pass briefly in our lives and yet have an indelible and lasting impact. Such is the case of my meeting with the Honorable Joseph Day. I didn't know Senator Day before I joined the Senate. I had, of course, read about his remarkable career, and I was impressed by his background: engineer, lawyer, member of the military, marathon runner. When listening to his speeches in the chamber, I could grasp his discipline, integrity, and professionalism. I could see that he was an ardent defender of New Brunswick and that he devoted his entire life to the public cause. But other than the fact that we were both from New Brunswick, it seemed to me that we had very little in common. Lui étant de Saint-Jean, une ville anglophone du...
He came from St. John, an English-speaking town in southern New Brunswick. I came from Caracat, a French-speaking town on the Acadian Peninsula. He came from the military, I from the arts. We were not from the same generation, the same background, and not from the same culture. So I was quite intimidated when I saw him in this room. I didn't dare approach him. Then one day, when we were alone together in the Senator's Lounge, he came up to me and spoke to me in French of such quality and elegance that I was speechless. I realized then that I had made an assumption about his linguistic abilities and his interest in the French language and Acadia. Perhaps we had a lot more in common than I thought. We spoke at length about our affection for the French language and the privilege of coming from the only official bilingual province in the country. He told me about his love for the Senate, his regret at having to retire, and we also shared our common passion for running. He gave me some invaluable advice on how to build up my stamina if one day I wanted to run a marathon. Quote, "Keep your mind busy and don't concentrate too much on each step or kilometer you run," was his advice.
Here I participated in the Canada Army Run with no real objective. I was running in this magnificent city, and my conversation with Senator Day came back to me. I thought of him, of his invaluable advice, and of the way he had so eloquently spoken to me in French. Colleagues, I followed his advice that day, and thanks to him, I completed my second half marathon with pride. Nelson Mandela one day said, and I quote, "If you speak to a man in a language he understands, you speak to his mind. If you speak to him in his language, you speak to his heart." Well, the Honorable Joseph Day spoke to my heart that day, and even though I'm sad of his passing, I've learned a valuable lesson from my encounter with this remarkable citizen. No matter how different we may seem to be, there is always a room for us to meet and celebrate who we are. Reposez en paix, Honorable Joseph Day.
Rest in peace, Honorable Joseph Day. I will continue to follow your invaluable advice, and that's a promise right from the heart. Thank you.